one by one saying this is not okay with me. Where do you stand? How much does it mean to our governance, our country's security for you to win this case against California?
Well, to me, I think it means a lot. But the reason might not be what you think. The reason is because there are so many misperceptions about a sanctuary city. So if you bear with me, I'll answer your first question by telling you how I think about it. Sanctuary cities, the concept began many, many years ago to protect illegal aliens who were victims of crime. That's how the concept started. It then became perverted over time, and now the sanctuary is for the criminals. So I think you've heard many administrations say this, but I'll say it again because it's true. When we cannot arrest those criminal aliens within a safe setting, such as a jail, we have to send our agents and officers into the field. It puts them in danger. It's no longer a controlled environment. But it also, very importantly, puts the illegal, but otherwise legal, meaning they haven't committed any crimes after the illegal entry, it puts them in danger.
Sure.
Because now we're taking a potential violent situation into their communities. So I am always open to having this conversation. I did have this conversation with some of the governors that I spoke to when we were talking about the National Guard. Everybody wants anybody who's a victim of a crime to be able to report it.
Absolutely.
So we're not trying to chill that. That's not the intent. We will help states message on that. But I can't imagine anybody deciding that their first and foremost job as an executive leader is not to protect the safety of their cities. This does not do that.
Well, ultimately, it does turn some of those cities into magnets for people who are in the country illegally for a variety of reasons. Madam Secretary, just about 90 minutes ago, the guy who lives in the big house behind you did some tweeting. He said the caravan, talking about going across Mexico a few days ago, is largely broken up thanks to the strong immigration laws of Mexico and their willingness to use them so as not to cause a giant scene at the border. Because of the Trump administration's actions, border crossings are at a still unacceptable 46-year low. Stop drugs. You know, to the casual observer, it does look as if the president's tweets a couple of days ago about why isn't Mexico doing anything about this actually helped stop it.
I think the president is clear. He has been clear. He will continue to be clear. He made a commitment to the American people to secure our border. He's going to do that. I myself have been in conversations with my Mexican counterparts over the last 2 weeks. Together, we have had discussions on the caravan. The caravan, as you say, is dissipating. It's a yearly caravan. This is usually what happens. But having said that, we have seen more cooperation from Mexican officials than we ever have before on this particular caravan, thanks to the president's leadership.
Lastly, Madam Secretary, you went around painstakingly and met with leadership before the omnibus was passed. It's as if they didn't listen, Republicans and Democrats. What did you want? What didn't you get?
It's a good question. I think the most frustrating, it would be hard to pick just one, but let me pick two. The two most frustrating, we have men and women in the Border Patrol that have been part of protecting our border for decades, well before 9/11, well before the Homeland Security Department was created. These men and women have done assessments after assessments over the year. They understand the flows, the traffic patterns, the danger, and what works in terms of impedance and denial. So I was very disappointed that Congress chose, rather than listening to the experts, to tell us and tell the experts where and how we can build the wall. To me, that's not their job. It's the job of the operators who live and breathe that every day in conjunction with the local communities. So that would be my first. My second is bed space. I mean, we all know the only way to enforce immigration law is once I interdict somebody, I can remove them. And if I can't do that, I need to be able to detain them until I can remove that. And if I can't do that, we no longer have border security. So given the numbers we had last month, they just came out, 50,000 in April is the number that we interdicted or otherwise was inadmissible. That is a 200% increase from March of 2017. This crisis is real. There are many more people coming to take advantage of these loopholes and are being trained by the smugglers.
Well, that's one of the reasons the National Guard is heading down south sooner than later. All right, Secretary Nielsen, thank you very much.